Hey everybody, it's Wednesday. Welcome back to Creative Chat Cafe, the talk show hangout that, gives you guidance, inspiration, and provide results for all your marketing, business development, and also leadership needs. I'm Zef Zan, your host, and I'm looking forward to this great 30 minutes. Hopefully it's all fun and joy. It's the show is actually aired every Wednesday on this website right here. You see at the bottom of the screen, it's www.entrepreneurs@soar.com. And I'm going to share with you the hashtag that we actually have for the show. It's hashtag Creative Chat Cafe. So you can Google search us on the Google search engine, and you'll find out all our shows in the past. So, again, it's every Wednesdays on, entrepreneurs@soar.com. So I'm going to put back the website. And I'm really looking forward to today's show because I have two big people on the panel. Woohoo! And I just want to take this opportunity to welcome, our co-host, Liron Glickman. You've seen her before. And woohoo! Welcome, Liron! Thank you. Hi! And also Eric Lopkin, right here, my networking buddy here in Connecticut. Eric, welcome to the show. Eric's a guest on the show today.
It's great to be here. Thanks so much.
You're welcome. So why don't you guys take a couple, about 30 seconds or so to kind of introduce yourself. Liron, let's get started with you.
Alrighty, thank you. So hi, Eric. Hi, Zef. And hi, everyone.
Hi.
I'm happy to be here once again.
Woohoo!
Yeah, thanks. So I'm a business networking coach. I help small business owners and entrepreneurs and career-oriented people to achieve their goals through smart creation and management of their relationship, as it's all about people. And if we'll manage to create the right relationship, we can get the right results for us and for others. I'm talking to you live from Tel Aviv.
Tel Aviv, yeah.
Tel Aviv, Israel. And I'm excited for another show with you, Zef and Eric.
Thank you. Woohoo! Eric, your turn. So, you're the first time here, and I'm sure our audiences want to know, who is Eric?
Well, I'm founder and president of the Modern Observer Group. We're a business coaching and consulting firm. And what we do is we help people improve their work, their lives, their careers, their business. We do this through coaching, one-on-one for entrepreneurs, executives, managers. We combine that with full operations consulting. So we actually come in and help people put together a process to achieve what they want to do step by step. And then we also do communications work for them, full marketing communications, teach them how to speak with people, how to make a presentation, all the way to social media work and traditional advertising.
I could use some of that. Thank you so much, Eric. Welcome to the show. I'm really excited because, today we have a great topic because we're doing the topic on, marketing and branding, pretty much more of a branding topic. So we're going to do three things today. Our regular, segments in our show. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to talk and discuss and have a conversation about creating your personal brand. And then, of course, we'll be talking about all this great stuff about creating a personal brand. And we're going to give you some tips. Eric, Liron, myself will give you one tip from each of us, to kind of help you create this personal brand. And then the third part of the segment will actually share with you some visual inspirational, as I think, because it's going to be fun. So, we're going to do that at the end of the show. But let me just get started with this. We're talking about creating a personal brand, and I'm sure Liron and Eric can relate to this because in marketing, as marketers, one of the biggest questions I ask myself is, do I fascinate others? Not that I'm a superstar or anything, but I just figured, do I fascinate others? What is it about me, that attract the attention of others. This is important because we're marketing our product and our business and basically marketing us, the value of us. And in my professional opinion, that the answer to these questions go back to who I am, and I think a lot of people don't understand that in creating a personal brand, we have to actually, relate it to who we are. We cannot create a different person. It's just how we amp our value. How are we more valuable to others? How are we, what is our brand, that makes it valuable to other people? And I don't know about this, but Lerone and Eric, I'm sure you both have your own, branding stories because we all have different personalities. But let me get started with Lerone. Lerone, so we're all talking about creating a personal brand. And as a networking coach, right? I'm sure you work with a lot of, that's pretty basic when you work with a client or a customer talking about creating your personal brand, because if you don't know what your personal brand is, you can get lost in the message and your value. So how does a person start creating a personal brand, Lerone?
Well, as you say, it's a very, very important, let's say, milestone in when you go networking or when you go sell a product or anything similar, because you bring yourself, as you said, I wrote it, it's about who we are. So we bring ourselves to the table. And, first of all, everyone already has a personal brand. We already have our brand, which is the way people perceive us. But in order to build or create one's personal brand or my customer's personal brand, I think it's all about knowing our core, knowing what we bring to the table, what is our strength, how people perceive us. And there is a way to understand what we communicate and what is the current brand. And there's also a way to shift it and build a better brand that we would like to have, and which basically nourish what we want to sell and what we want to achieve.
I think you're very spot on when you say it's not about what you're selling in the beginning, because before you can even do that, you have to get your value out first, your message, and then people will see if your branding match your business. So, Eric, let me ask you this, right? So we're all talking about branding, and one of the biggest thing I think is people having the challenge in creating a brand. You mentioned earlier that you work and coach business owners, entrepreneurs, how to communicate, how to, just appear in your appearance and all that good stuff, which are important to branding themselves. But what is the biggest difficulty that people face in creating a brand?
The biggest difficulty is actually that they need to be genuine. Forget about what you think somebody wants to see. You have to be yourself.
Yeah.
And there's a big difference between what you say and do and what they see and hear. And you have to be able to adapt to that. So branding is really about that perception. The easiest way to control the perception is to be genuine. Be who you are and be comfortable with who you are.
Comfortable in your own skin, really,
Exactly,
because some people are not. Some people are just not comfortable in their own skin. They're trying to be somebody else, and that's not what you should be doing, am I right? Because you could totally be a totally different person. And yes, we live in such a social media driven world, and I think people have this the myth that says, oh, people can create a different person and then be that. And I think that's not true, because yes, they can, but they cannot carry that in real life. And when they meet people, people can actually spot a fake, right?
Absolutely. If you want to create a different persona, if you want to create a new brand, you actually have to be that brand. It can't be something you put on like a shirt. It has to be an internal change.
Right. Exactly. So in your experience with your clients, Eric, have you seen examples of people trying to say, hey, this is a business that I want to create for myself, but it is not really who I am. But I still want to stay true to myself. But then the brand crashes, the business branding and also the brand of the person, that personal brand, kind of clashes. Have you ever experienced that and seen that in your clients?
It does. It happens all the time. I've seen it most often with lawyers. Because
Really?
people go into law with the best of intentions. You know, they're doing this because they want to help. But people have the preconceived
Sorry,
notion.
folks. I'm sorry, but sorry, folks, the lawyers out there. We're not trying to, get to you, but we just think, you need a little bit more help. Eric's help, actually.
That's the preconceived notion that people have about lawyers gets in the way of how they can brand themselves.
True. Very true. And I think people have this preconceived notion of lawyers, and I think that's why they have a challenge of, sometimes some lawyers that I've met, some have really cool personalities, but because their profession, their career, people have this preconceived notion of, what they should be like, therefore they are perceived that way. And these are the lawyers that have to work extra harder in creating that personal brand. What do you think, Liron?
I think it's very interesting because lawyers, I know at least in Israel, there's a lot of also hard restrictions about lawyers. I think in the States, lawyers can publish themselves. In Israel, they cannot even have any form of publication for them. So it's all about relationships when it comes to lawyers.
Yes.
It's all comes to networking. And I think, and it also comes to the brand, because if you're a lawyer and you have, like, a negative perception about you because what you do, then once people get to know you, and if you're genuine, and of course you communicate yourself well, then people connect to who you are, and then the road to have them hired is much, easier. So again, and I really, really love what you say, Eric, about being genuine. Like, it's so important, and it does take time for people sometimes to figure out, or to try to see how they being loyal and how they're being genuine. And I think it comes when the person is more experienced and know what he's worth, and more self-confidence, and this is where you can express your own personality and shine it out better. That's what I think from my experience.
You're absolutely right. I mean, as people get more comfortable with themselves, as they're more confident in what they're doing, it becomes so much easier for them to feel, okay, I can really be myself.
Very true. And I think, Eric, because you and I, Liron, Eric and I, we kind of network a lot in the state that we're in. So, we have quite a few mutual friends. And one of the things I think we see a lot is that I think, Eric, you said, you have to be comfortable with ourselves, right? But I think one of the things that we do have personalities that are introvert, and I think they have to work extra hard in branding themselves. And I think if you're an introvert, folks out there, if you're an introvert, you need to kind of break the ice, find somebody who has better energy than you do, and go out there and meet people, because your personal brand needs to be about personal touch. And if you're not doing the human touch, nobody's going to want to work with you. Sorry, that's the truth. Right? So, Liron, I know one of the good things about helping people, create a personal brand, it usually starts with a pitch. So tell us, maybe you've got a tip about pitches, how people can create a good pitch that just to get them started, that can help develop a personal brand. Sometimes they need to kind of tell a story about who they are, because we don't know who they are. And if I met Eric at a networking event, and if Eric has a bad pitch, I wouldn't want to, even learn about what Eric does, because I'm like, okay, next. Sorry. But, what's your recommendation even to get started with a good pitch to kind of, brand yourself, create that good personal brand?
Yeah, exactly. So pitch is very, very important. Some people call it your own commercial. It has to be short and simple, because when you meet people, you need to interest them, and before you attract their interest in you, then you need to be very quick and very sharp and tell them things that will keep the conversation going. So you have to make it short and simple. You have to make it interesting in a way, and you have to make it structured to tap all the information, the basic information that people actually want to hear. So there's three basically let's say, stones for this structure. The first
Okay,
one.
hang on. Let me give you a good sound. We gotta go one more time. Here comes the first tip. What is that first tip?
First tip. It was very dramatic. Now I really have to deliver something. So
yes.
Let me think and I'll come back to you.
I know. Pressure's on.
Pressure's on. So guys, the first stone for your structure of the good pitch that you can deliver is your name and what you do. It makes sense, you know. Hi, my name is Liron Glickman, and I'm a business networking coach. My name is James, and I'm a consultant. You know, everyone has to say their name and what they do. That's the first one. The second one, after your cue, please. Always.
Oh, sorry. Here we go. We love those sound effects, don't we? One more time. Here comes the second one.
So the second one is basically who do you do it for? Who is your audience? Who are the people that will be happy or need what you're selling, your services? So you just have to manage your target audience. So what is your name and what do you do? And who do you do it for? The third one.
One more time.
Third and the last one is the most important one. So it's the main solution that you provide to other people. So what is the solution, the product? What makes someone's life better? What helps them?
The value, pretty much.
The value, exactly. So for example, when I can tell about myself. So I say my name is Liron Glickman and I'm a business networking coach. I help entrepreneurs and small business owners, the audience, to achieve their goals through smart creation and management of their relationships. So understand the core value. And then after you say that, after you say what you do, who's your audience, and what is the great value, this is where people usually ask, okay, so how do you do it? You know, for example, people even sometimes when it comes to the value part, they even give different, like very interesting kind of solutions. For example, let me try to remember. People say, I help people make more money. So how do you help people make more money? Okay, so I'm an accountant, and this is how I help people make more money. So you can kind of play with the last bit, with your value, and kind of communicate it in an interesting way, so people would find more interest in you and ask the next question.
So Eric, you mentioned earlier about being genuine, and I know that's a great tip. I think that many of our audience need to know. But what are the details of how to be genuine? Do you have some extra tips that can help people just kind of be genuine? Because sometimes we don't think about it. We're like, don't know how to be genuine. They just I think I put a front that works better. But could you kind of help us out right here a little bit?
Yeah, I think the key to really getting that across is, people come to networking events with these ideas that, okay, I've got to put on this professional coat and, and act this way. But what you really need to do is forget about getting anything in a meeting. Just go to talk to somebody. And really, when you introduce yourself to someone, when you're talking to them, don't think of it in terms of, I have to make a sale or I have to build a relationship. Just talk to somebody like, hey, would you like to get a cup of coffee?
Yeah.
And start building a relationship at the basic level, where it's really, is this somebody I like? Is this somebody I relate to? And if you're someone they relate to, it's going to happen.
It's going to be much easier.
But take the pressure off. Forget about anything you think you have to achieve. Just meet people. Once you get rid of that pressure, it's a lot easier to be yourself.
That's true. Very true.
If I may add, I really agree with you. And there's this sentence that I always say when I give lectures or when I speak to others, and I always say it only works when it's real. And when I say real, I mean also genuine, And also when you, as you said, Eric, when you feel there is some kind of connection with a person, there's someone I don't feel connection with, and I think that I need to be in touch with him because he knows someone or he is in a big position. If I don't have the initial click or connection with the person, I just don't go there, because I think it's about being real. It's about being real with the people you connect with. Because only when you really have some kind of real connection with someone, and usually it's mutual. When people feel it goes both ways. This is a good foundation for a good relationship. And when there's not click or not any connection, I just wouldn't go there. I'll prefer to be real and miss that opportunity than not with someone I don't feel comfortable with.
Very true, and I totally agree. And sometimes people push too hard, and then it becomes really fake. That you can really sense it. You're like, oh my, they're trying too hard. And when people see you that way and they brand you that way, they think your personal brand. You may not be that kind of person, but because you already do that, and people start branding you, they see your personal brand that way. Exactly.
It becomes reality.
Absolutely, and that's true, and it's scary, because you're like, whenever they come near you, you go like, oh, stay away from me, I'm so sorry, but that's the truth. But here's one thing that I think we do see a lot in, just creating a personal brand. And I think when people say creating personal brand, creating the you brand, one of the first thing people think of, I think, in my professional opinion, because I've done image consulting in the past. So one of the biggest things I think, and this is my tips for today. All right, folks, if you're out there, you're probably wondering, why I'm bringing up this tip. Well, this is the most common one that you think about when it comes to branding, and I'm sure some of you might think it sounds like this. But it's not, I guarantee you, because the first thing that you have to think about creating a personal brand, I think, in just your appearance. My tip about appearance is because it's important to be relatable. This is a relatability factor. How are you relatable to the people that you build your business with? How do you want to be perceived? Just like Lerone and Eric mentioned, how do you want to be perceived? If your character, your personality, your personal brand doesn't truly reflect who you are, then maybe you want to do some adjustments in your, just kind of be in tune a little bit more. So when you actually carry yourself out there in your appearance, people can relate to you better. So you're probably wondering why I'm saying this, because like I said, I've done image consulting in the past. One of the things that my training instructor taught me, this is so funny, because she says, you're all here for image consulting training, she says. So I assume that when you go into a networking event or meet people or leave your house, I'm not trying to ask you to get dressed up in bling, but she says at least be presentable. If you're an image consultant, you want to at least look presentable. You don't want to look like a hoarder, or who wants to build business with you? Who wants to go to you for image consulting? If you're a business coach, then dress appropriately. Yes, some, setting requires a little bit more formal, some, just a little bit more business casual, and you have to dress accordingly, I think, because you want to be relatable to the people that you want to work with. You want to bring your core value. You want to show that you're genuine, but at the same time, kind of, match it up to what you do. And well, I want to show some pictures for you folks out there. And I'm going to ask our panel after this, what they think about this, because it's so common. So I'm going to share my screen real quick, So some of the things that I tell people about image consulting. So this is courtesy of MoniqueMonte.com. So if for instance, you have a real estate broker or a realtor, do you see her coming to your meetings like this versus like this? Eric, which one would you want your realtor to be?
Well, you want the realtor to look professional and put together.
Yes.
Obviously.
Yes, very true.
You do have to take certain things into consideration. I mean, obviously, somebody's going to look a lot more presentable at 9:30 after they've just put everything together than after they've been running from house to house all day.
Yes. Yes.
You don't have to worry about every little wrinkle or every little rumple, but
Yes.
overall, you do need to look presentable and professional.
Exactly. Exactly. That's what I said. At least relatable to what you do. Also, is the personal brand. People. I mean, I'm sorry, but it's true that people do. I mean, judges sometimes, and it's the
Yes.
truth. I mean, people do judges. I'm sorry, but that's the truth. Am I right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And what you wear actually becomes part of your brand. I mean,
Yes.
generally, when I'm at a networking meeting, I'm in a suit. Whether I have a tie or not, depends on what's going on, but I'm usually in a suit. We actually had a situation a couple weeks ago where the air conditioning at the networking event wasn't working. So I took off the jacket, I put it on and someone actually made the comment. He goes, it has to be way too hot in here because Eric took off his jacket.
That's so great. And coming to the next thing that I want to actually share with everybody, talking about. So I'm gonna get there, Eric, because I'm gonna ask you that question. So here's another sample of which one is more relatable in business. I mean, I'm sure, of course, I'm not saying that the one on the left right here, is not suitable for casual business. Maybe sometimes, but if I met a person who's an image consultant, I'd rather work with her than with her. You know what I'm saying? And Eric, talking about gentlemen, men, here's a sample too. If you have a realtor who sells, $1 million homes, do you want to really look on the left, or you want to look like somewhere in between? I think that in between is the second image of this guy and this image of a more formal. The second image could be like you said, Eric, if you're going from one meeting to the other, probably casual meeting, and that still works in the center. But if you're selling $1 million homes and you have a high-end client, I think I'd rather buy from this guy than this guy on the left. Agree?
Exactly.
Oh, certainly. And it really does make a difference as to who your target is. I mean, somebody who's selling $1 million homes, you need to dress differently from, say, a gardener or a carpenter. You wouldn't really want to see a carpenter in a three-piece suit.
No, definitely not. It'll be so off. It'll be so off. Very true. And Eric, so I want to pick on you a little bit because, I know men always have this issue, and I think you're one of the best dresses out there in business because, when I go to a lot of networking, that's true, Puliran, because when I go to a lot of networking events, like Eric said, we do see some business owners jump from one, appointment to the other. And sometimes, people just don't think about it. They'll just go in with their shorts and, whatever they have on. But sometimes we have to think a little bit more. So Eric, as a gentleman, as a guy, how much effort goes into appearance? Because, unlike us women, when we leave the house, we think about makeup, we think about lipstick, we think about handbags, we think about bling and all that stuff. But as a guy, how much effort just goes into your appearance, planning for, going out the door? Oh, do you, how much effort does it take? Because I'm sure, if you take into practice, it really doesn't. It becomes part of your routine.
It does become part of the routine. The key is really making it part of your routine. Most guys, myself included on occasion, we grab what's in the closet, we toss it on, we run out the door. But if you train yourself to take those extra minutes, make sure the shirt and the tie match, everything works with the suit. The little things, like, are you wearing the right color shoes? Guys never think about shoes.
I know.
Most of us have two pairs of shoes, a dress shirt, a pair of shoes, and a pair of sneakers.
It's true. It's true. But that's great that you actually invest a little time, because folks, I'm going to tell you this: in creating a personal brand, that investment of 30 seconds extra or a minute extra, just thinking about, wait, do I put on a polo shirt, a round neck t-shirt and shorts to a business casual? It takes that investment of one extra minute takes a long way, because the person that you're going to meet is going to be thinking, oh, she or he probably took that extra time to be presentable and relatable. So,
And
Leron, I mean,
I'll give you my secret for all the
okay,
for all the guys.
here we go.
The time to take the 30 seconds or so isn't when you're getting dressed. It's when you're shopping.
Oh, that's true.
Go out and actually buy specific outfits that you're going to wear for business.
Great
And
tip.
you know, when you get them so that they mix and match, so that you've got a couple of pair of pants, a couple of shirts, and they all match. This way, when you're running out the door, you don't have to think about it.
Very true.
Another advantage is in this store, you probably have consultants or, you know, salespeople that can help you match stuff if you're not really sure. So,
yeah,
right.
I love
Very
it.
true.
Great tip.
I know. Lots of resources, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, like I said, you know, folks, you know, in creating a personal brand, it's all these little things, you know, it's just not about, you know, keeping your core values, you know, offering your core values, you know, it's not about just being genuine. It's not about just being, you know, how you appear relatable to others, but it's this whole package that comes together. And if you're not thinking about all these little things, therefore you'll have a mismatch of a brand. And then when you bring and deliver it in your business, you know, because when you're in your business, you know, you're trying to sell your products, you try to market, you know, do promotions, PR, then it comes back to personal branding. Because Eric, correct me if I'm wrong, because if they don't think about all this, then the communication of the message could be mismatched too.
Absolutely. And something to remember is that the message someone is receiving isn't on any one channel. It's what they see, what they hear, what they feel, what they smell.
Yeah.
It's a total image that you have to take into consideration.
So again, you know, to kind of sum up that whole conversation, this inspiring, you know, visual look, you know, it's just that, you know, every little thing, you know, in creating a personal brand plays a part. So, you know, if you're building a coaching business, you know, who you are, because at the end of the day, people is going to pick you over the other coach. You know, they need to know what kind of value, how genuine you are, you know, how you look presentable or not, because then the value comes through the business. So, folks, you know, we're almost at the end of the show, but I really, before we go, just want to take you know, a few minutes here to kind of share some information about where you can watch Creative Chat Cafe every Wednesdays. So I'm going to quickly share my screen real quick and kind of share with you where you would go to watch our show. So you can actually go to our website, which is, you know, entrepreneursthatsoar.com. You can click on the Watch Hangouts under Creative Chat Cafe. You will watch all our shows. We kind of put it in a blog post. So if you're not a person who loves audio or visual, you can read the blog, you know, the blog post. And, you know, I invite everybody to join our Google Plus community for Creative Chat Cafe. You know, come on into our community because we want to hear what you have to say. Introduce yourself. We want to get to know who you are, what you do, what your value is. So, you know, so come on, join us. And before you go, I just want to quickly kind of have Leron and Eric here to kind of share information about how you can connect with them, you know, where they want you to connect with them. So maybe, Eric, could you probably just, you know, tell our audience, share with the audience how they can connect with you?
They can always email me at elopkin@modernobserver.com, or they can get me through the website modernobserver.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Eric. Leron, how about you?
Yeah. So first of all, I have as well my website, of course, which is a blog, and you can read and learn a lot about networking within, you know, and also image and how to structure your network and how to communicate well. And the address is, you can see it below, but it's www.leronglickman.com. And of course, you're more than welcome to contact me through my email, info@leronglickman.com, or search me on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter. And thank you, Zef.
Thank you, everybody. So, before we go, I just want to say thank you, folks, for joining us here on Creative Chat Cafe. It's been a great 30 minutes. And like I said, if you want to be relatable, dress the part, and just don't be looking like a hoarder if you want to be a coach, because I think you're sending clients all the opposite direction. So, thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Lavon. Thank you, Eric, for joining me here today on Creative Chat Cafe. Let's raise our marks and have a creative and productive day, everybody. Goodbye. Bye-bye.
Bye.